Small-town business owners Wyatt and Lance Bush teamed together to form Craven Customs, a father and son duo scavenging the web along with the Northeast Texas woods in search of rusty relics. While buying and building on a budget, they recreate and preserve hidden patina, giving each one a story of its own. Chasing their passion, they're giving the past a future, saving lost dreams one vehicle at a time. With help from God, these guys are Turnin Rust, brought to you in part by Maxed Trailers.
Our top story tonight. Local YouTuber Lance Bush has been missing for several days. Sources say he was last seen out purchasing cars for Turnin Rust. His whereabouts are still unknown.
Do you guys think someone would really try to kidnap me? We just needed a really cool intro for this really cool 1963 Cadillac Hearse. We got asked if we were going to attend the LoneStar Throwdown show this year and didn't exactly have a project that we thought we could bring at the time. And this old hearse has been on the back burner at the shop for quite some time now. We decided if we were going to go all out with it. It doesn't currently have a motor transmission set up in it, so we got to find that. We plan on going with full air ride on it, leaving the patina on it. We're going to do the Ghostbusters style props on it with just our Turnin Rust style. And but first things first, this thing's not running, so I'm going to get myself cleaned up and we're going to get a motor for it. Since we're on such a time crunch with this project and we've used just about every spare motor we have around the shop, we stopped by a local parts place, a parts salvage yard, to kind of dig around, scavenge their yard, see what maybe they might have. We brought some parts, we brought some tools, we brought a battery to see if maybe we can crank something up. It's a pick and pull place, so hopefully we can walk out of here with a deal. I'm Lance.
Lance, I'm John. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What can I do for you?
Hey, I'm looking, we've got a project we started on. It's an old, kind of out of the ordinary, 63 Cadillac Hearse.
Okay.
And we bought the car, don't have no motor, transmission in it, and we're looking for, I'm leaning towards probably just like a carbureted 350, you know, V8 of some sort. May consider like an LS motor if y'all have something like that. Didn't know if y'all, I see a lot of cars today.
No, I've got plenty of stuff to choose from. You can go out and take a look on the yard. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to look from.
Yes, sir.
Just take a look.
So this is like a pick and pull place.
Yeah,
so
you go out there and you find it and pick it and bring it on up.
Right, okay.
We'll take care of it.
Cool. Well, we brought some tools and I brought a battery. I don't know if you allow people to kind of mess with
I mean, call me and we'll go out there, or you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
All right. So we'll just make our way out there and maze around. If we see something we think we can't live without, I'll give you a holler.
There you go. All right, thank you, man.
All right, yes, sir.
Thanks for
you.
coming out. All right.
I'm chasing my fate, all by myself. I find no luck in wishing well. This road I'm on.
This is the first time we've been out here, and there's a ton of cars we're gonna have to scavenge through. Looks like they have a pretty good organized system arranged in the different manufacturers they've got here. So my game plan is I'm gonna kind of send Dad one direction, send me another, see if we can't find something that maybe we can use on this thing.
Gonna face the music before I lose it, and I gotta do this while I'm alive. Gonna face the music, it's time to prove it. I'm making history while I'm alive.
So this looks like an old Buick. I don't know if it's got any kind of motor or anything in it. Yeah, it looks like it does still have the motor in it. Looks like it's a 5.0 liter, which is gonna be a 305. It's a little bit smaller than what I wanted to go with in this car. That's a big old heavy car for a 305 to be pushing it down the road. But this motor would be a really simple motor. The wiring's really simple on it. As long as it runs, you know, once again, we don't have a whole lot of time to look around on this project. So really what we can find and we can make work, that's what we're gonna use.
We've got this motor right here we could possibly use. Got the old Vortex engine in it. It's got the Vortex head. We'd have to take the intake off. It's got the throttle body intake, and we'd have to put the carbureted intake in. But I think it's something that we might be able to use.
Now this is a jewel right here. It's not every day you find a Blazer with this custom pumpkin orange grille and this real fancy John Deere green undercarriage. And y'all want to hate on patina. That's some style right there. What are you even doing in the Chrysler section?
I seen it said bad motor. I figured this must be a bad motor.
Yeah, that's just what we need for the internet to hate us more, is put a PT Cruiser motor in a Cadillac.
Now's my time.
Did you have any luck?
No, not a whole lot.
Yeah, me either. Well, there's a lot of stuff out here, just not really what we're needing at the time.
Yeah. I was rummaging around back here at the back and kind of come across an old Dodge pickup. We might be looking at it and see what's in it.
I just hate to put a Dodge motor in a Cadillac, unless it's a diesel.
I didn't even pay that close attention. I was just walking fast past it. So.
Where's it at?
Right in this corner.
Oh yeah, it's an old first gen. It does have a Cummins in it.
Yeah, it's any count.
If it's got a Cummins in it.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers. Ah, it does still have it in it. There's no way this thing still runs sitting out here in the scrap yard. Someone done snatched it up. This would be perfect in there though. It would be so cool.
How hard is it going to be to put it in there though?
I have no clue, and being on a time crunch as well, it may be very interesting.
Maybe easier putting the PT Cruiser in there.
Yeah, we're not letting that happen. So this, I noticed it's an automatic. It's an old 12 valve, has an intercooler on it. This would be cool. I mean, there's not a lot of people you see cruising around in an old Cadillac with a 12 valve Cummins in it.
Looks all complete too.
Yeah. So I definitely think this is a winner, as long as there's a good story behind it. It's possibly maybe usable. We don't really have time to rebuild it if we have to, but I think it's definitely something we can make work.
I think so too.
These old 12 valves are a really hot commodity right now. I mean, people are putting them in all kinds of vehicles. You see a lot of rat rods with them. One thing I haven't seen one in is a 1963 Cadillac Hearse though. So that's why I'm super interested in trying to find out about this thing. A little concerned of why it might be out here. Don't know if the transmission went out on it. Maybe the motor has issues. It's obviously been in a wreck, so fingers crossed, hopefully that's the only deal with it. But I can just see this thing in this car, just the black smoke just spooling out everywhere, just a loud motor, just matches the look of the car and definitely matches the style around here at Turnin Rust.
get too deep sometimes in my own head. Unstitch the fabric to find a common thread. Got caught up in
Hey man,
Hey, how's it going?
I think I found one we can't live without.
Okay, cool.
The old early 90s Cummins there.
Oh, right.
Do you know anything about it or?
Yeah, it came in the other day. It runs. The transmission's good. It did go off in a ditch. Some young kid was driving it and went off in the ditch, pulled that wheel off. But I mean, as far as the engine and trans, it's good.
Yeah, I noticed it has an automatic transmission and you don't see that a lot in those trucks.
Right.
That's what I was leaning forward on that car. I knew I wanted to have an automatic in it, so
Okay.
I have no clue what it's going to take to put that big old motor in that car, but I guess we're going to find out. Do you know where you need to be at on it price-wise? Or?
Well, we can go up front, look at the numbers, and I can give you a number on it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, if it's definitely something that's in our price range, we're going to snatch that thing up, and I got a tow truck that can come out here and pick it up if that works for you.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, just we'll set up a time and come on out and
Okay.
take care of it.
All right, cool, man.
Cool. All right.
We were able to come together on a price on this old truck. He told us the thing would run and drive, the transmission was good in it. We won't really know until we get this thing back to the shop, but hopefully it does. Hopefully we can get it in there. We'll have to dig into this car, see what it's going to take to, what we're going to have to cut away, what we're going to have to move, but we're going to make this Cummins fit in this Cadillac, and we're going to make it to LoneStar Throwdown with it.
I'm chasing fire. I'm chasing fire. You know I can't stop 'cause I don't know how. Falling thunder's gonna shake the ground. I'm chasing fire. I'm chasing fire, and I'm never burning out. Never burning out, 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 burning out.
Now that we got this old truck back to the shop, we're checking over the fluids here, making sure they're okay. Got a hot battery on it. We were told that this motor and transmission was good. Supposedly a kid just kind of run off the road, wrecked the truck, and they quit driving it. We need this motor and transmission to be good, especially on the short time frame, and especially of what we're going to have to run into on putting this thing inside of a Cadillac. So now we're just doing a once-over, making sure everything looks good. So far, so good. I'm going to get in there, try to turn it over, and see what we got.
I get too deep sometimes in my own head. Unstitch the fabric.
That's amazing. I didn't think this thing would fire up that quick. I don't know how long it's been sitting without running. Obviously, probably not too long. Looks like in 2017 was the last time they had it registered. But man, it sounds good. This thing is going to be awesome in that Cadillac. Don't know a whole lot about diesels, but going to learn on this project. I know these old 12-valve Cummins are really clattery, really noisy motors, which makes it kind of cool to me. But man, it sounds really good. We'll go ahead and try to shift it in gear, make sure all that stuff's working well on it. We're not going to be able to drive it because obviously the wheel's off of it. But as long as it shifts in gear, we know the transmission seems to be working fine for us. We'll pull this thing out and get to the next step. Now that we got the truck unloaded here at the shop, we've kind of moved it out of the mud best we can. Our plan is to pull this engine out of it outside. We'll use our forklift to help us with that. The reason why we were going to do it outside is just a little bit easier for us to move the forklift around. We don't quite have the height inside that we need to make that work as well. So we'll start with, we'll go ahead and pull the front clip off, pull the radiators, the intercooler off. Don't know if I'm going to pull the cab off of it or just try to yank the motor out of the front of it, but we're just going to dig into this thing and see how it goes.
I got one more second to make up my mind. Each time I figure I'm taking control, just letting you
We've got the front clip pulled off this truck now. We've tried to salvage most of the wiring on this thing as we're not really sure what we're going to need or not need. There's a lot of really bad wiring. There's some old house wire here that they've rigged up on this thing. Obviously we'll do away with that. But we've looked it over. It looks pretty easy to disconnect the harness from the cab here. So our next step, we're just going to go ahead and pull the cab off this thing. I'm just going to sell the parts that are still good on this thing to somebody that's looking for them. But it's just going to make it a little easier just to get this motor and transmission out. Just pull the cab bolts and get it out of there. Now that we got this cab pulled off, we'll be able to lift this motor and transmission out of here with no problems, no worrying about it hanging up on anything. We're going to go ahead and pull the drive shaft loose on it, undo the transmission mount at the cross member there. There's still some wiring we'll undo. Like I said, we're going to try to save most of this harness because we're not sure what we're going to use or not use. So right now we're just going to pull the drive shaft, a few bolts, some motor mount bolts and stuff like that, and get this thing lifted out. Well, we got the motor out and that wasn't too bad of a deal. It took us a couple hours. I would say this is definitely the easy part of the project. Now we just need to get the Cadillac over here. This motor's really tall, so it's going to be really tricky getting all that up underneath the hood. But we'll get the Cadillac over here, kind of rip the front end off of it and start stabbing the motor in there and just see what we need to do to make it work. Now that we got this big old hearse inside the shop, we almost need a bigger shop as long as this thing is. It barely even fits in here. We're going to go ahead and start tearing this thing apart and just see what it's going to take to get this big old 12 valve in there. It's a little intimidating actually, knowing the deadline we've got. There is a lot of room in here, but once again, this motor is really tall, so we're going to struggle with the height issues on this thing. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pull the front clip off this car, just so we can get to all angles a little bit better. We'll go ahead and forklift that motor inside here, start setting it in there. Looks like we're going to have to trim away on the firewall a little bit, and just kind of set it in there and just get an idea of how everything looks and what we need to fab up to make it work.
I won't turn my back again. Wanna stand and face the rain in this valley of wood. They say the end may come, but if I'm the only one, I won't ever run in this valley of wolves. The alpha blood in this valley of wolves. The alpha blood, the alpha blood in this valley of wolves. The alpha blood, the alpha blood.
It's a little less intimidating now that we got a lot of the sheet metal out of the way and you can kind of see what we got to work with here. It still has the old exhaust manifolds and the exhaust left on the car, which is kind of crazy to me. It looks like it had a V6 in it previously, which is not much of a motor for this big old thing. So we'll get a Sawzall, get that cut out. We're going to remove a lot of these hoses that are in the way just so we have a good clean space to work with. Just start stabbing that thing in there and see what room we've got and what room we need. With these old Cadillacs, they have an X-type frame where the frame rails actually join together there in the middle. This might be an issue for us as we went with an automatic transmission, so we've got a little bit extra length to work with rather than a standard transmission. So we're just hoping we'll land a little short of that. But basically we won't know. We can do a little measurements, but once we start stabbing it in there, we'll kind of have an idea. And hopefully it'll just land shy of that. We'll run our drive shaft through the hole there and get everything bolted together. Of all the issues, we run into something stupid like this. We're trying to get this motor inside the shop, and with it being as high as it is when it's using the forklift, by the time we lift it right here, the forklift legs won't clear the door here. So now we're just going to go ahead and hook up to the cherry picker. We'll just wheel it inside a little bit more. Then we'll bring the forklift back inside, rehook to it, and then go ahead and stab the thing.
My jeans are torn, sweat coming through my shirt, keep pushing even though it hurts. I'm chasing what I know is true, there's nothing that I would not do. Everyone around me drops, I'm never gonna ever stop. I won't waste another minute, no I won't. I'm a man on a
Well, this is our first trial of hopefully not too many at this. We're going to see how it goes, how it fits, and learn if we need to make wiser decisions next time.
wait another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
We're having an issue with the steering right now. The oil pan's landing right on it. I was kind of afraid of that as well. So we're gonna have to disconnect this steering where it runs across there, pop it loose so the oil pan will clear. Then hopefully we can connect everything back up. But right now it's just gotta get out of the way so we can go in it a little bit more.
Wait another minute, no, I won't. Wait another minute, no, I won't. I won't. Wait another minute, no, I won't. Yeah. I won't wait another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I don't need no permission. I'm a man on a mission. I ain't waiting and wishing. Oh, I got that ambition. I'm a man on a mission.
So the approach has been so far, if it's in the way, remove it until everything fits. Now that we got the first initial stab of this motor into the car, there were a few issues that we ran into that we know is something we're going to have to address immediately. One of them being this cross member right here. With this motor being as tall as it is, and we want to try to get it up underneath the hood as most as we can, we're going to have to trim up this cross member just a little bit so that oil pan will clear there. So we've got some marks where we're just going to kind of trim that out just a little bit. It looks like we won't have to get into the firewall as we're going to go with the stock motor mount positions here, but we are going to have to change them up just a little bit to allow this motor to drop in there the way we need it to. So right now we're just going to go ahead and start trimming up on this cross member, get them motor mounts fabbed up. Just go ahead and try it one more time, and hopefully we've got what we need.
You and me so unstoppable, kings of the impossible. You and me so unbeatable, make it look unbelievable. We can't quit now, we're so close. Wherever you go, I'll go. And I can't do this on my own. So brother, are you with me? Brother, are you with me? Brother, are you with me? Oh, let go. You and me don't know how to lose. We the A-team got nothing.
We've been working on these motor mounts to get this diesel into this Cadillac here. And what I have is just a stock bracket that bolts to the block there. And this is just a stock bracket that come off of it that actually mounted onto the cross member of the truck. On this car, we needed this block to drop down as far as possible so it would clear the hood. So we just fabbed up these new brackets here. It's going to allow the block to drop down about 2 inches. This is going to get our oil pan into the cross member just a little bit. So we're going to have to put some marks and kind of cut that up, trim it up just a little bit so it clears the oil pan. But right now, we'll get this stuff bolted up, get that cross member cut up a little bit, see what problems we run into next.
Brother, are you with me? Brother, are you with me? Brother, are you with me? Oh, let go. We can't quit now, we're so close. Wherever you go, I'll go. And I can't do this on my own.
We've got this cross member trimmed up just a little bit now. We had to be real careful to stay clear of our control arms here. What we'll do now is we'll just make a little cardboard template and come back with some 3/16 1/4" steel or something, and just go ahead and plate this in, weld it all up where it'll be good and strong again.
Let's go.
We're about to go for our second attempt at getting this motor in this car. We got the cross member trimmed out a little bit, and we got the motor mounts fabbed up to make this motor drop down a little bit to clear the hood. Once again, when we started this project, we had no clue of what it would take to get this 12 valve up underneath this hood, or even if it would be possible. But we've been doing a lot of prayer, and we've had a lot of favor on this so far. It seems like things are going pretty smooth. So we're just going to stab it back in there one more time, see what maybe we need to cut or change this time, or see if this may be the fit we need. Well, it's been an extremely long day. We're filthy, we're tired, but we got a 12 valve Cummins in this 63 Cadillac. It took a little bit of work. We had to trim the cross member just a little bit to allow that oil pan to clear. We fabbed up some motor mounts that allowed the motor to drop down up underneath the hood the way we need it to. Now we're just basically at the point where we'll start buckling up the front clip back on it just to see what is clearing and what's not clearing for sure. Throw some wiring on this thing and hopefully crank it up.
Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this. Baby, I was born for this. I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born. I tell you I was born for this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now. This is what I was made to do. I was born for this. I was born for this. I get hit and I might start bleeding.
Oh wow. There's no way I thought this hood was going to shut down just on the first try. I mean, when we tried to stuff this big old motor in there and began this project, I didn't even know if we were going to be able to run a hood. And to me, that's an extreme blessing that this thing actually shut down on the first try. I took off a little piece that runs on the intercooler that we may have to trim a little spot there. But for this thing just to go down like that, I mean, that's just God and showing us extreme favor on this project. Because once again, we didn't know what we were doing or if this was even going to be capable. And super happy with the way it's turning out so far. We've reinstalled this little elbow here, and this is obviously the highest point on this motor right now. It looks like it's going to be rubbing on at least the inner structure of the hood there. So we're just going to put a couple marks on the inner structure there, trim that out. Hopefully it'll allow this thing to shut down without actually having to come through the outer sheet metal of the hood. We'd love for this thing just to be full-blown sleeper where no one knows this thing's in it. But if worst case scenario, we'll just cut a little hole here to allow this to pass through on the outside.
Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know.
We're about a week into this build and it looks like we're back to the same spot where we started. A lot of work's already been done though. We've got the 12 valve in the car, we've got the front clip mounted. We didn't even have to cut a hole in the hood, which is really cool to me. I mean, you won't know this thing has a diesel in it until you hear it coming at you. Still got a lot of work to do. We've around about 2 months left until the show. Still want to do air ride on it. We want to do the roof rack with the full Ghostbuster props on it as well. But right now we're going to go ahead and tackle the intercooler, see what it's going to take to make all that fit.
Don't try and change me, fix me up or rearrange me. Take it or leave it, 'cause I don't need reforming. Yeah, yeah. I'm gone, I won't look back.
So our plan of attack on mounting this intercooler is to have it obviously in front of the radiator here. We don't have much room for the radiator as it is. There's a few things we're going to have to unmount out of the way, just simple stuff like the horn, the battery tray, just some old AC parts here. It might kind of get in the way of the hood latch. We may have to redesign the way that works there. We're just going to get these parts out of the way, get it in there. May have to cut a few holes for the lines to run through on the radiator support, but looks like we can definitely make this stock intercooler work.
This is the payoff. This is the payoff. Bright lights, big city, smell the
This is the payoff. This is the payoff.
What was the few little brackets we thought we needed to take off ended up being the whole face of this car. So we've got everything ripped apart now just to fit this intercooler in there. It doesn't look like it's going to be hard to mount. We'll basically mark some holes for our lines to run through here, drill or torch them out, get that thing mounted in there. It looks like everything will go back together. Just need to get that in place first.
The payoff.
Well, it's been another really long day, but I'm super happy with the progress we made on this thing. We've got the front clip bolted back on. Well, we didn't have to cut the hood out, which makes me super happy about this thing. We're getting really close to cranking this thing up. We still have the air ride. We still have the roof props we want to put on this thing. But we're going to go ahead and do some wiring on it, get the drive shaft built on it, and hopefully get this thing running pretty soon. Now that we're back in the shop and got the holidays behind us, things have really made a drastic change from where we left off on this project. The way we placed the motor and transmission in this car, the starter was rubbing up against the stock steering box, so it wasn't going to allow us to use the stock steering. We had made plans to use a rack and pinion setup, but with the holidays, the time crunch, we just couldn't find a company that could get one out here to us quick enough that was going to work. So what we had to do is go ahead and bite the bullet over the weekend. We cut out the firewall, we moved the motor back so the starter and the steering box would clear and not be an issue. So we'll be able to use a stock steering box now. What we're going to do is go ahead and take advantage of having all this apart. We've got our new control arms in, we've got our new disc brakes. We're just going to start unbolting all this stuff, bolt on the new parts, stab the motor back in, hopefully crank it then. When we started to order parts for this car, I never really put in mind that maybe companies wouldn't have them in stock or there would be build times. And we kind of ran into a situation on these control arms here. What we've got here is a set of chopping block control arms. We wanted to do full air ride on this car. The stock arms are just not really set up for that. So we were able to reach out to the company itself. They shipped them out next day. This is going to make it really easy and really handy for us to install the air ride. The lower control arms are here. The bags will just mount here. We've got all new ball joints, all new bushings. Going to make things go a lot more smoother, a lot more quicker.
We're fixing to start removing the hubs and get to the brakes here. We're fixing to go with some disc brakes on this thing. We've got 22-inch wheels, so we're going to need something to really stop this thing. So that's where we're at now.
What we're doing now is just disassembling these old drum brakes. All these inside components are not going to be used, so you can destroy them if you need to get them out. We've got new disc brakes that we're going with. We just need to get this spindle down to bare where we can mount that on. We can mount the bare spindle onto the new control arms. Just need to get this stuff out of the way now so we can go ahead and move on to the next step.
Time to get down, get on up, if you don't know
Now that we got the front suspension pulled apart on this car, we've kind of cleaned the grime off the old frame rails and put a little undercoating on it. We've got our cross member completely boxed in from where we had to cut it out for our oil pan. We've got our motor mounts moved back just a little bit. Now we're just going to get the control arms, start bolting them into place, put the air ride on it, finish up the brakes, and that should finish up the front suspension of this car. With this chopping block kit, they send an upper bag bracket which will go in there where your factory just cool spring would have set. Just bolts in place where the shock originally was, and then your lower control arm already has the mount for where the bag sits there. So now we're just going to install these upper bag brackets. Right now we're going with a way bigger bag. This thing's going to be way too small for this diesel motor. We're going to try to run an 8-inch bag up front if we have the clearance. Basically just going to install this 6-inch right now, see what clears, what don't clear, what we may need to trim in the cool pocket right there. But now we're just going to start installing this stuff and see what we got. We've got these front control arms installed on the car now. Looks like everything's going to work really well. We are going to have to trim this spring pocket just a little bit to clear an 8-inch bag. We need a really big bag to handle the weight of this diesel motor we put in the car. But what we'll do is we'll run an air line to this bag, and it'll work just like a spring would, except when you air it up and deflate it, that's going to change your suspension height on the car. So we'll be able to lay this car completely out, or we'll be able to air it up to drive at a normal ride height. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is move on to the disc brakes. We've got a new power booster we're going to install as well. Just something that's going to make this car stop a lot better. That's a lot of motor that's going to be needing a lot of help to slow it down. So we'll go ahead and install those things, install the power booster, and move on to the next step.
Gotta strike this chord with a humble heart. I'm bearing heavy chains and blue collar scars. Inevitably they're gonna get the way. If it don't take that fight, take it to the grave. They try to walk with the angels in the city so fatal. So fall into the flames. Don't knock my reckless ways. We'll be unbreakable, unmistakable. Living overdrive. World is waking up, and the wolf will taste no blood. We'll be unbreakable, unmistakable. Living overdrive. Let 'em try and lock up the beast inside. I'm gonna break the chains, let me testify. Yeah. Never thought I'd brush the ashes off, no. To spare your mercy, it's a heavy cause.
We're into a new week now. We're around 42 days until the show. We've made a little bit more headway. We've got our wheels installed here. We went with a 22-inch Detroit steel wheel. Going to give it just a really big wheel, really cool old school look as well though. We've got our bags installed. We got our 8-inch bags. We trimmed up our spring pockets so they clear good. All of our control arms are good and bolted down, torqued down and greased up real well. So now we're just going to move on. We're getting really close to our deadline and we still haven't heard this motor run in this car yet. So now we've cut down our oil pan just a little bit so we can clear to make sure that when we put the car on the ground, we're not having oil pan clearance issues of crushing our pan in. So we'll get that oil pan installed, stab this thing back in, and hopefully we can hear it run today. So on this motor, the oil pan was obviously the lowest point on the thing. With the chopping block control arms we installed, it allows this cross member to almost completely set on the ground. So we were going to run into issues of this crushing the oil pan in. What we did here is we just cut away 2 inches of the oil pan so we could clear it and allow the cross member to hit before the oil pan does. When we cut out 2 inches though, you're losing your oil capacity. So we needed to add a way to make to where we keep the same volume. So what we did is we just come out sideways to where we keep the same oil capacity. It's just going to be a little bit shorter pan, but it's a little bit wider now. I'm installing the oil pickup tube now. When we cut down the oil pan, we also had to take about 2 inches out of this pickup tube. So I'm just installing it back in. We've got the flange cleaned up on the block here where the oil pan will seal back up. So once we get this pickup tube bolted back in, we'll just bolt right in the oil pan.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey man.
We brought
How's
you
it
a
going?
truck.
You made it, huh?
I'm Chad.
Lance, nice to meet you.
I'm Cadillac. I own Cadillac Designs. We buy and sell a lot of old cars. We also do graphic design. We do a lot of rebuilding and customizing on hot rod trucks and cars and stuff, and we've been doing it for a lot of years. We hit a lot of swap meets and a lot of car shows, and we pick up old vehicles like this one wherever we can. We look for the older trucks. We love the 47 to 54, 55 trucks. They have a great body style, so we try to pick them up. We sell a lot of parts, and we go all over the country buying and selling and picking up and collecting.
Yeah, when I seen you post a few pictures of this old thing, I was like, man, that's a cool truck.
Yeah, it's got a great patina to it. You know, they're hard to find complete with all the paint.
That's
on them.
what caught my eye, and then it being a 55 GMC on top of that. You don't see a lot of 55s, and definitely don't see a lot of 55 GMCs. So.
And it's got all the trim, all the stainless, deluxe.
Yeah, I'd had a customer contact me looking for a 55 because we had one not too long ago and had sold it. I knew that you had this one, so I thought we'd help each other out and see if we could make a sale. Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure. I think she's wanting us to maybe get the thing up and running. She talked about possibly doing some old school logos on it, something that kind of matches the truck.
That'd be cool.
She was just definitely set on a 54 or 55 for some reason. So, but this will definitely work out.
Oh yeah. The tailgate's inside for it. It's a different color.
Right.
But I
Have you tinkered with the motor or anything?
No, it's got a brand new alternator and it looks like a brand new belt on it, but I haven't tried to turn it over or anything. So
normally, if you can get them turning over and get
yeah.
a little fire and a little gas down the carburetor, it'll at least spark and do something.
Yeah, you might have to let it soak a little bit.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's ran in a while, but it looks like it's all there.
All
so.
right, man. Well, I'll try to figure out a place to get this thing unloaded, and we'll get it off there and
wherever you want.
See what we can't do with it.
Okay, sounds good.
My name is Mike Hollowell. I've got Hollowell Customs in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We build traditional hot rods and customs, do some Harley Davidson motorcycles, things like that. Been doing cars and motorcycles and stuff since I was pretty young. Mostly the motorcycles, and got into the cars about 15 years ago. And just like the old traditional hot rods and customs, and these old trucks are kind of a passion of ours also. We build quite a few of these and done some for customers, and do a lot of air ride and kind of neat custom touches to them.
Now you got an empty trailer and I need some money. There's got to be something around here you can't live without.
Oh, you got stuff for sale, do you?
Well, right now just about anything might be for sale.
Well, we'll have to take a look around and see what we can find then.
Yeah, that old hearse is about to break us to make it, so I think we're going to get it done though and make it to the show. So.
Yeah, good deal.
But I appreciate you bringing this thing down here.
No problem.
We'll dig into it and see what we can't figure out on it, and I'll keep in touch with you, let you know what good we found out.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good in there, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Well, hopefully we can get it running and for sure get them logos on it, and she'll be happy and
It'll look good.
we'll all be happy.
Oh yeah, it'll look great.
All right, man. Well, feel free to look around. I'm gonna get back on this project.
All
I'll be
right.
safe going
Thanks,
home.
Lance.
All right, see you, man.
See you.
So I've actually met Chad just through a Facebook acquaintance. I've noticed him on Facebook always posting pictures of a lot of these old trucks he's trying to sell. They always have a really cool patina, and that's what caught my eye. I knew about this truck, just really didn't have the funds myself to buy, so I pitched it over to a customer of mine, and they were able to close a deal on it. I would love to say that this truck is mine, but unfortunately I just can't do that right now. She does want us to try to get it up and running. It looks like the motor is fairly complete. It doesn't look like there's any reason why it shouldn't run. We're just dig into it, make sure it's not locked up, go ahead and make sure it's getting fire and gas, and see if it'll crank up and run. Not sure if she wants us to go into the brakes on it or how far this project she has in mind. She does want some cool logos we're going to bring to Shanks and have him do some logos on it. I'll just have to touch base with her, kind of see where she's at on it. Just really cool truck, and can't wait to see how it turns out.
I'm a wanted man. I got blood on my hands. Do you understand? I'm a wanted man. I'm a wanted man. I got blood on my hands. Do you understand? I'm a wanted man.
Now that we got this motor stabbed back in the car, what we're going to attack now is just getting rid of a lot of this old wiring harness. When we started this project, I didn't really know anything about diesels, still don't know a lot about them, but Google and YouTube is your biggest friend when you're trying to learn stuff. So I've looked it up. It looks like you can basically run these motors just off 3 wires. We're going to run a wire down to our starter solenoid. That's going to allow the starter obviously to kick in and turn the motor over. Another wire that we're going to need is ran to our fuel shutoff solenoid here on our pump. So it'll just supply power to it when you need it. When you don't need it, it'll kill the power off and kill the motor. So we're going to go ahead and just wire this thing real simple. We're not running AC or anything like that on this car right now, so we'll be able to get rid of all this stuff. Not going to have crews on it at the moment. Just clean this wiring harness up, make the motor look a lot better, and run our intercooler piping and hopefully get this thing to crank up.
You play with fire, so get ready to burn. You play with fire, and now I'm taking my turn. No more running, no more hiding the fight, 'cause you play with fire. Oh, you made your bed and now you're lying to sirens, 'cause you play with fire. I put your face on a wanted sign. Make no mistake, it's just a matter of time. Ain't decided how I'm playing. I'm still making my design. You play with fire, so get ready to burn. You play with fire, and now I'm taking my turn. No more running, no more hiding the fight, 'cause you play with fire. Oh, you made your bed and now you're lying to silence, 'cause you play with fire. You play with fire, so get ready to burn. You play with fire, and now I'm taking my turn. No more running, no more hiding the fight, 'cause you play with fire. You made your bed and now you're lying to sirens, 'cause you play with fire.
Now we got the bare minimum of the wiring ran on this motor. It looks very Frankensteinish right now, and I know we were really happy and bragging about being able to keep everything under the hood, and we're still going to be able to do that. We just kind of threw the stock air breather we had off the truck on there right now, so we can just use it until we get the new breather that we need. We got our